Hi, my name is Nancy Sjuts, and I work with Peace Coaching Worldwide. And today I'd like to talk a little bit about where does this peace that we talk about, where does it come from? So I had a client one time ask me, where does peace come from? I have a mug in my office that says, that has a saying on it about peace. And I think it captures that feeling that most everyone that comes into my virtual office, what they're looking for. So my mug says peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. We're not really all that naive, We think we know that there's going to be noise, trouble, and hard work in our lives. That's not unexpected. We're not always going to feel filled with joy. We're not always going to be in the basement, with depression, etc. Most of us are going to be on some kind of a wave of those kinds of emotions. And so, no marriage is perfect, no relationship is perfect. We're going to have problems. We know that. We're not naive. So, when these things happen to us, though, why do we let our peace be stolen? So, if we believe a myth that our peace comes from our circumstances, we're precariously perched for pain and disappointment. We're susceptible to all kinds of misery and joy. That's the nature of the human condition. But we'll not be truly peaceful while we're doing either one if we believe that our peace is dependent on what's happening to us. Even when good things are happening in our lives, if we believe our contentment comes from what is going on externally, it will still elude us because we will still be trying to control how long the good stuff lasts, the same as we try to control how long the bad stuff lasts. We try to manage others and our environment instead of managing ourselves. So one time a client asked me, where does peace come from? My answer had several facets. I think that peace comes from letting go of the myth that I have more control than I actually do. I think peace comes from relinquishing the expectation that others can make me feel bad or good or angry or sad or jealous or anxious. They can hold up the mirror to attachments or beliefs that I have that aren't serving me very well. But the truth is that no one can make me feel anything without my cooperation. I believe that peace cannot live inside of me if I'm overly focused on things that I cannot change or things that may or may not happen. I believe that the acquisition of peace is a byproduct of letting go of unhealthy attachments and beliefs. It comes after walking the valley of the shadow of death through my own deepest, darkest places to the light at the end of the tunnel, the promised land. As Robert Frost would say, it is the road less traveled, and it truly does make all of the difference. I think of peace as the hallmark, the prize that one receives in their feelings when they're emotionally fit. Like being physically fit, working through emotional issues requires showing up, working out, practice, study, dedication, repetition, focus, motivation, stamina. By the way, it also takes an awful lot of courage because the valley of the shadow of death is indeed a deep, deep, dark place inside of us, and we cannot run away from it. Many people go to a great deal of time, effort, and expense to avoid working through their stuff. That's what we talk about when we have addictions, when we have all different kinds of issues that are going on inside of us. That comes from avoidance. So my question is, how bad do you want it? The promised land, the real peace. It's worth the work, the time, and the effort. I've taken many people on their own personal journey to peace through like an army crawl through the mud sometimes with live rounds flying over your head. That is true. You can't run away from it. Really cool side note, actually, too. In the Star Wars movie, The Empire Strikes Back, when Luke is becoming a Jedi, I oftentimes think of when he goes down into that tunnel. Remember that part? And Yoda tells him, "You're not ready to go down there," and he goes anyway. And he has this epic battle with Darth Vader in the cavern. and defeats him. And he just can't help himself. He's so very curious, and he takes off Darth Vader's mask, and he sees his own face there. I think of that as a metaphor for recovery, the kind of recovery that we're going through to become a Jedi. And so that part where he takes off the mask and he notices that it's his own dark side that he's fighting with, that process needs to happen before we can truly become an emotional Jedi. And so that is what we do here. That is what we the journey that we take people on, the things that we teach. That is our ultimate end goal. We want ultimately people to be emotional Jedis and to have that peace that cannot be pickpocketed by the world and its circumstances. And so we want to keep that close to our heart, sealed up, and not able for the world to steal that from us. And so that process is what we teach here. In fact, we now have groups available that we are offering to help people walk through that valley of the shadow of death and learn this stuff on not only a theoretical level, but a deep personal level, in a way that will make you that emotional Jedi. And so check out our offerings on our groups page. We've got boot camp, we've got officer training corps, we've got upper echelon, all more and more in-depth study of particularly Bowen systems theory, family systems theory. We'll also bring in a little bit of internal family systems and apply Bowen to that. And there's other techniques and modalities that we can use as well to help you work through things like deep-seated trauma or different kinds of disordered thinking or things that steal your peace. And so check that out. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Check out our website and hit the subscribe button, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks so much for stopping by.